Welcome, QBE Fantasy Football owners. Sorry about last week's video, guys. Just didn't have enough time. Ran out of a week. But this week I got you. I'm on paternity leave now. I'll be able to do this each week now. Anyways, let's get down to those recaps. Your first matchup of the week. We got Dew versus Harry. This matchup scared me a little bit. The projected scores were really close. Too close for comfort, actually. Then it was announced that Matthew Stafford wasn't going to be playing on Sunday against the Bears. Dew had Baker Mayfield on the bench, and their opponent wasn't that hard. So I kind of figured he would still have a pretty close matchup. However, it looks like he didn't put Baker Mayfield in, and that's going to cost him a $5 penalty. Dew, you can PayPal that to me. That'll go towards the winner of the league. Even with Dew not having a quarterback in, it looks still pretty close. Cooper Kupp had a big goose egg for me. All my players weren't looking too good at first. However, and then Tyreek Hill and Amari Cooper had giant games scoring 25-plus points for Dew. However, Aaron Jones, he's back. 3 touchdowns for the Packers, giving me the slight edge over Dew. Final score, 103-113. Oh. And to make things better, if he would have put Baker Mayfield in, who scored 17 points, he would have won this matchup. See, kids? Never let players not play. $5. Thank you. All right, on to our next matchup. We got Dave Petty versus Eric Langfeld. Eric Langfeld's still over in Australia, doing some work, I guess. Maybe. I don't know if he actually is working. Security. Anyways, Lamar Jackson has a huge game for Dave Petty, scoring 33 points. Did you guys see that freaking touchdown, Lamar Jackson? Couldn't have done it better myself. He also has the LA Rams defense scored 20 points, and Kyle Golladay had 13 points, even though the Lions took a deep L. Eric Langfeld had Golden Tate, however, scored 21 points, which, if I'm not mistaken, is probably his best week of the year. He also had Mark Andrews and Travis Kelce have big games, scoring 20 and 17 points. Looks like he's starting 2 tight ends. I guess with those two, I wouldn't be too upset about that. I think I do that in another league as well, actually. But not too close of a game, not too bad of a game. Eric Langfeld sucks. Dave Petty wins easily, 123-104. All right. This matchup, we got Corey versus Pat. This was a close matchup. Projections looked close. Looked even closer towards the, midway through the first games. Pat had Christian Kirk go off for 34 points, 35 points for the Cardinals. It's not looking good for those David Johnson owners out there. But really, he didn't have too much else go on that week. He did have James Crowder score 16, but meh. But Corey is back, man. Once he gets Mahomes, you got 30 points almost from Mahomes. You got 22 from Pittsburgh's defense. And Michael Thomas, well, he just doesn't stop disappointing for Corey's team. I can't believe Eric Langfeld traded him for him. Le'Veon Bell hasn't done shit. Good thing he's in Australia. Otherwise, man, I would drive to work this week just to talk shit. Anyways, all right, final score, 127-98. Corey takes that one. All right, we got Phil versus Jake. Man, that name, the toilet, this is like the toilet bowl. Phil just had a pretty awful week this week. Mike Evans had 10 points. Aaron Rodgers had 10 points. You're not doing too well when that happens. Jake had Josh Jacobs get 17 points and Carson get 17 as well. Drew Brees had a bad week. They lost to the Atlanta Falcons. That was a surprising loss. I know, because Alvin Kamara didn't do that well either. But final score was 55-86. You guys aren't going to be winning any championships anytime soon. Oy vey, Bruce. Ugh. Anyways, on to your next matchup. We got Dan versus Bruce. Dan has a big week. He got high score of the week, actually. 146.9 points scored for the high. Dan, that's $10. He had Derrick Henry go off for 32 points. Josh Allen had a good game for the Bills, scoring 25. And the Baltimore Ravens defense, 23 points. Man, Dan, good week this week for you. Bruce, on the other hand, he didn't have actually his worst week at all. Melvin Gordon showed up, got 20 points. Jarvis Landry had 20 points. Tariq Cohen had a decent week at 11.7 points. but just wasn't nearly enough to, beat Dan. 93 was his score. So the final score was 146-93. Dan takes this one easily. Good win, Dan. All right, on to your last matchup of the week. We got Fully Chubbed versus Show Me Your TDs. I'm not sure if this is a fantasy football matchup or a night up at the club. Anyways, let's get to it. Jameis Winston has 18 points for Eric Rodgers, and Nick Chubb has a disappointing week with only 13 points, even though the Browns won this week. Kelly, however, has Dalvin Cook score 28 points and Christian McCaffrey score 23. I just want to put this into perspective. She has two of the top two running backs, as in 1 and 2. It's pretty hard to beat her when she has that kind of dynamic duo. She also had Jones, the quarterback for the Giants, go off for 30 points, sending her off into an easy victory. Final score, 141-91. Eric, not looking too good for your season, man. All right, owners, I forgot to mention that Dave Petty won the weekly high score position. It was QB. Also wanted to mention last week, week 9, Kelly got the high score, 142. And she also got the position of the week, which is flex. Guess who got that? Christian McCaffrey scored 36.1 points. This next week, week 11, we got DST. So your defense better score some points. Wanted to go over real quick who's got what for money. We got Kelly at $60, Harry at $25, Dan at $20, Patrick at $50, Eric Rodgers at $10, Philip Miller at $10, Bruce Brunig at $5, and Dave Petty at $5. Hope to have another video out next week just as early. Gonna actually try something a little special next week, so tune in next week. All right, guys, have a good week. Look forward to the next week's matchups.